Sometimes after separation, children begin talking less about what happens in their other home. Not because they suddenly become more private, but because something about those conversations no longer feels emotionally safe. A simple story about their weekend, something funny that happened, or mentioning the other parent may suddenly change the mood in the room. Sometimes one adult may still be carrying hurt, disappointment, anger, or unresolved feelings about the separation. Instead of managing those emotions themselves, their reactions may quietly teach the child which conversations feel safe. Without anyone saying it directly, the child begins noticing that some topics seem to create tension, others bring silence, and some appear to upset someone they love. This is often where children begin holding back before they even finish a sentence. Many adults still remember reaching a point where saying less simply felt easier. Sometimes the body notices the change before the mind fully understands it. They may hesitate before answering a simple question, or quietly wonder, "Can I say this?" Over time, repeated emotional reactions begin teaching the child something important. Speaking honestly may sometimes lead to another difficult moment. So carefully choosing what to say begins feeling safer. Some psychologists describe this as an emotional adaptation. In simple terms, it means the child gradually learns to protect relationships by filtering what feels safe to say. What this often does is place the child in a role they were never meant to have. Instead of simply sharing their life, they begin managing conversations around another person's emotional reactions. Instead of feeling free to be themselves, they begin feeling responsible for keeping conversations emotionally safe. That responsibility was never meant to belong to the child. Repeated loyalty pressure may gradually teach the child that protecting one adult's feelings feels more important than sharing their own experiences. That emotional burden becomes quietly exhausting. Instead of simply talking about their day, the child may begin thinking about someone else's reaction first. Instead of asking themselves, "What do I want to share?" they may quietly begin asking, "What is safe to say?" That is a very different way of experiencing a conversation. Instead of speaking naturally, every conversation begins feeling like something that needs to be carefully managed. That is what makes this so unfair to the child. Instead of simply enjoying time with both parents, they begin carrying emotional responsibility that was never theirs to carry. If this happens once, it may simply be a difficult moment. But when it happens repeatedly, children may gradually stop believing that honesty is emotionally safe. Some people describe this as a narcissistic family pattern when it happens repeatedly. Because over time, the child's emotional needs may gradually become secondary to the adult's emotional needs, unresolved relationship conflict, or need for reassurance. The child slowly learns that protecting the adult's emotional world feels more important than openly expressing their own experiences. This can help explain why some adults still pause before speaking, carefully choosing their words, or worrying that honesty may disappoint someone they care about. The original situation may be over, but the emotional adaptation can continue long afterward. Healthy co-parenting looks very different. Children are free to talk openly about both homes without feeling responsible for either parent's emotional reactions. They never have to protect one relationship by hiding another. That emotional freedom helps children develop confidence, honesty, and trust in their own voice. Your confusion may make more sense than you realized. Recognizing this pattern helps explain why speaking openly may still feel emotionally risky today, even when the danger is no longer there. Protecting another person's emotions was never your job. If this helped put words to your experience, like the video and subscribe to the channel. This channel exists to help you recognize narcissistic and manipulative patterns calmly, clearly, and without blame, so you can understand what is happening and trust yourself again. And when children repeatedly learn that some conversations no longer feel emotionally safe, sometimes they begin protecting more than just their words. In the next video, we'll look at why children start hiding their feelings between homes. Click here to watch.